Hi, Pearl.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Good. Can you see me and hear me okay?
Everything's perfect. All good on your end?
Yes.
Excellent. So, new Motor Sister album. I actually got it sent to me last night, so I made sure the whole family could hear it,
Awesome.
nice and loud. And it needs to be played nice and loud. So it's out. Well, we got May 6th on Metal Blade. And first off, my first exposure to you was this.
Ah, no way. Right
Okay.
on.
So, for people that don't know, where are your vocal influences from? We know you've got a rich music history, but where do you, as a singer, a writer, take your influences from?
Um, so many places. I grew up in a musical household, so my entire life was spent watching my own father on stage, who was a vocal powerhouse, you know. Just growing up with him and watching him and following his techniques and seeing how he made the sounds that he did, that's, you can't help but learn from that. um I grew up in rock and roll. My mom always listened to a lot of soul music. So like a lot of Aretha, a lot of Tina, Otis Redding. But then on the rock and roll side, you have also Tina. She's rock and roll. But the Stones and Janice. I could go on. The list is like endless.
Cool. Now, Motor Sister started as, for whatever better word, a Mother Superior cover band, and it's now developed into it's always been its own entity, but now it's developed to a point where the album is its own entity. You've got all originals except for the final song on the album.
Yeah.
It sounds really silly, but whose choice was the final song, straight up?
That's funny. I can't remember. I think Rolling Boy Blues was one that we meant to include on the first album, which was of covers of Mother Superior songs.
Yep.
And I feel like with this album, we felt it was just left out and it was too good to not be re-recorded and covered. So I think that's why it made it on.
Cool. And for people that don't know about Mother Superior, could you explain the band to them in a nutshell and what they mean to all of you as a band?
They're just genuine, real, hard, kick-ass rock and roll trio from LA. Really didn't get the acknowledgement that they ever deserved because they were so great. They were so great that Henry Rollins asked them to be the Rollins band, and they were the Rollins band for 6 years. We're all still just nerdy fans of theirs, and now to be in a band with Jim Wilson, who's from Mother Superior, is a great honor. Yeah.
Sure. Now, this band's very unique. A lot of bands only have like one or two writers. You have 5 writers in the band. How does the process work for Motor Sister? Do you all go and write individually, bring it together and jam it out, or is it just get in a room and see what happens?
This one happened this one was Jim. This one was mainly Jim Wilson coming, after it's been 7 years between albums, right? So this was Jim, I think, texting us all in a group one day and saying, guys, I have a ton of ideas for a new album. Do you want to hear them? Yes, of course we do. And every single idea that he had is on this album, and of course he sent us his ideas, kind of, in his living room, really super rough voice memos and things like that. And and then we came together and we fleshed them out, but really there wasn't that much for the rest of us to do in terms of structure and things like that, because Jim had already really fleshed them out himself. He's an incredible, prolific songwriter, and it shows in especially this album. It's such a great album.
It really is. And it's not that the band sounds like anything in particular, which is great for me, but there are songs like A Million Miles that sound AC/DC, and I can really hear Scott's Malcolm Young impersonation on it, really
Nice.
big. What else? There's Excuse Me, Your Life is Exposed. Was that written targeting someone in particular?
I don't know. You have to ask Jim that.
I will.
Good. Ask him. You know, I think there are always personal stories in every song, so it's probably had. I don't know. He may have had somebody in mind. I'm not sure.
It certainly sounds like it. It doesn't sound like a very general song to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's, someone's in the sight of a gun, for want of a better word, a musical gun. You also co-wrote Bruised or Loser.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's like a story of the music business for me. That's the way I read it and listen to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that was the intent. You know, the title came from me because it was after a gig that we played in Brooklyn, New York one night, and I play a tambourine on stage, and I don't realize that during the show I'm actually beating the absolute shit out of myself with my tambourine.
Yep.
And you don't even feel it, you know, when you're in it, when you're in this song and, you know, you're just rocking. But after that show in particular, I remember getting back to the hotel room and I was changing and it looked like a horse kicked. I mean, it was like, oh my God. So of course I took a picture of my leg and texted it to the guys, and I just wrote Bruise It or Lose It. And anyway, that's where that song title came from. But yeah, I think your interpretation is spot on, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were going to give advice to someone starting out, only one piece of advice as they wander into the abyss of the music industry, what would it be?
Don't give up. Have a thick skin. Don't take it personally, because music is highly subjective. And play or sing or whatever your thing is, do it wherever you can in front of anybody who you can, all the time. Yeah.
Now, when we receive our albums, we of course get the little write up with them, and most of the time I tend to disagree with everything that the publicists write. No offense, publicists, but there is a song on the album, and it's obvious it's a tribute to Kiss. Time's Up. Like, now I wouldn't have known that Jim would have been a Kiss fan. I of course know Scott was a Kiss fan. I was one of the first people to see his Gene Simmons tattoo in 1997. He literally got it on the plane, like before he got on the plane to come over, and I interviewed him the day after.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So I saw it when it was only the bat design. Nothing else was added. Now, it's obvious he is a Kiss fan. I didn't know Jim was a Kiss fan. So
massive Kiss fan. All of the entire band are Kiss nerds. I think I might, you know, we're all friends and we all spend a lot more time probably together socially than we do actually getting to make music together, which is, you know, just the way that it is.
Yeah.
Because of everybody's other projects and stuff. But usually when we're together socially, it ends up, the night ends up with loads of drinks, guitars out, and Kiss songs being wailed. I mean, it's just inevitable.
So we also have a mutual friend who I know would be involved in that. His name's Zack Throne. He was a birthday boy a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So I know how hardcore he is as a Kiss fan. Of course, playing with a Kiss member.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. He tucks right in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite Kiss song? Because I view you more as you would have become a Kiss fan by proxy.
I I I've known Gene since I was about 9 years old.
Yep.
Um, what's my favorite Kiss song? Black Diamond.
Wow. And now I'm going to do the really obvious thing in Detour from the album for a moment. Who do you prefer singing it? They've had 3 drummers sing it. Who do you prefer?
Who do I prefer?
Yeah,
Like,
as the
out of
vocalist out of Peter Criss, Eric Carr, and Eric Singer.
the drummer?
Yeah, who's like, because they're the vocalist on the song as well. So do you like the original?
I love Peter Criss's rock scream voice. Come on.
All right, back to the album now. Lion's Den is really a standout track for me. Like it's huge. It's got that cool psychedelic bridge. For you, like I really hear your vocals cut through a lot in that. They're very prominent in that bridge section. So what's that song mean to you, even though you may not have written it?
I think it's a love song. I think it's a love song. And about how much love hurts sometimes, but you still walk into the lion's den.
Sure. And
you know,
I have to say to everyone, when they get this album for the first time, they've really got to crank it, because you get a nice little teaser at the very start of the album with the words, the world's going to fucking hell and we're making rock and roll. It sounds like Scott.
it is Scott.
It is Scott, yeah. At what point with the world going to hell, was there ever a point where you're like, are we ever going to get this done?
Well, it's funny because we were in the studio recording live when we got texts. I think we were at the end of the week in the studio and we were just about finished and we just got the text. Everybody, like, their phones blew up at the same time. And it was like, LA's going on lockdown, pandemic lockdown. And so that's where that came from. We had one more song to finish and we were like, oh, okay, let's get it. And Scott was like, fuck, the world's going to hell and we're making fucking rock and roll. And that was like, it's genuine. It's true. So we had finished the music. Essentially, we all played live together in the same room, and singing the vocals straight along. So we had finished all of the music when lockdown went into effect. And then it took about a year for us to be able to come back and really lay down the final vocals. So time sort of suddenly started standing still, and it was wild, and around the globe everybody felt it.
Yeah, it's not been fun for anyone, let's just put it like that.
No.
Now, you recorded this at the Food Studio 606 on the Sound City Neve console. So I've watched the documentary a bunch of times, and as someone that's not really music nerdy like that to know about consoles and stuff like that, what did that console bring to the band?
I think it brings history, and it brings history. It's got the echoes of the sounds of the music that ran through it before. It's an honor to get to play your music through that machine. You sit down, you go, you play, you come back into the control room and you sit down and to listen back, and you look down at the board and there's Stevie Nicks has signed it. It's actually autographed by Stevie Nicks and Joan Jett, and it's a working working piece of history. It's still going. It's amazing. It's amazing to be able to play through it and to have that opportunity.
you go to tape, or was it all digital from the Neve?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Okay. Might have to ask Jay. I'll send Jay a message.
Yeah. Jay
Now,
will tell you all the technical stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of Jay, basically every album that he produces, just the band plays awesome, but he just adds this last little ingredient to it. What is Jay Ruston like in the studio for a band? Is he a producer or just an extension of the band?
Jay Ruston is our friend, and Jay Ruston is sort of a musician whisperer. He just has an incredible sensibility and an amazing ear. He's kind of a sonic wizard. He knows what sounds good and what doesn't, and he's an excellent human. So what he adds to the group is just goodness. He's one of those people who's just immediately easy to be with, and he's extremely professional, and he's very funny, and it's just a joy. He's just a joy.
Perfect. Now, while we are talking Motor Sister, any chance that there'll be a second Pearl album down the track?
Yeah, I actually have, you have the Little Immaculate White Fox, and I do have an album that came out a couple years ago called Heartbreak and Canyon Revelry, which is, so that's out too. And then, I'm still writing solo things, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, with everyone being in this band spread out across other bands and being parents and things like that, it's probably hard to get a tour together. Where have you sat in the way of, swimming through the land of Anthrax and Armored Saint and being parents to book a tour?
For Motor Sister, it looks like we right now, with all the music and the tours and everything starting back up, the Cult is going out. So Johnny will be out with the Cult this spring. Anthrax is having some shows. Joey will be out actually with Merciful Fate, which is amazing. And so we have a couple things lined up that coincide with the release in May, but it looks like maybe the bulk of our show and possibly, hopefully, touring will happen in the winter or early next year.
Okay. And everyone takes something different from music. That's the great part about it. But when people put this album on for the first time, and by the way, it's actually an album, everyone, it's not a bunch of singles. It sounds like a produced album. What do you want them to take out of it?
Fun. We were Motor Sister. We have nothing but fun together, and we were born out of a party, and we play music together because we want to. So, it's just a good time.
Perfect, Pearl. We are going to leave you for the day, and I really, really hope we see Motor Sister here in 2023.
Oh, I would love that.
Awesome.
So good.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. See you later.